ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from across the world. You're listening to Bad Decisions with Jazz. Hi, hello, welcome to episode 6 of season 3. Woohoo! Today's topic of inspiration stemmed from this article that I had read about being in your prime time and when your prime time is, and just I was just reading this article and it kind of gave me like a flashback to last year when I was planning the wedding. And you know, my family is conservative, so that's just how they are. And a lot of them were like, are you sure this is what you want? You're so young, you have the rest of your life, blah, blah, blah. And I appreciate them for saying that and trying to get me to see like, wow, I am young and I have so much life ahead of me, but it was unsolicited. I know they say in your early 20s is like your prime, and I want to like dive into this whole prime time and why this is even a thing. So I'm actually gonna take you back a few years, 2019 actually, in what most people would call my prime time. I would love to disagree. Like, let's get into a whole argument about why it wasn't my prime time. So it's 2019 and I am currently living with my ex-boyfriend, which, mistake. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, okay? I was in this relationship that was just so emotionally draining, so emotionally damaging. There was a lot of baggage from it, a lot of damage, like just a lot of like always walking on eggshells. Nothing I ever did was right. Everything I did was wrong. How I did it was wrong. What I did was wrong. Whatever, right? And I know that it wasn't forever, but you know, when you're stuck in a 3-year relationship, you kind of just get comfortable and it's like, well, whatever. I'm already in this. I've already invested all this time. I've already invested all this emotion, but that's a different topic. In results to that, I was going out all the freaking time. All of the time, like every weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday was literally my only downtime because I was like, okay, maybe I should kind of just rest and recuperate. And plus I was spending so much money on drinks downtown. Now mind you, I'm a cheap date, okay? All I need, one drink. I'm great, I'm living, I'm chilling. But there would be the times where it's 2 drinks and it'd be coming out to like $30 plus tip. And I'm just like, how was I doing that all the time? Think about it, there's 4 weekends and I'm spending about $30 a day, so that's $30 times 4, that's $120, and I was doing that every single weekend. I was spending a lot of money and it was fun. It was, you know, all fun and games when it was happening. I don't know what I was thinking, to be quite honest with you, but I think it was just a way for me to really get out of the house, to meet new people. And then I would come home and I would just be so depressed. So like, wow, an hour ago I was literally having the time of my life and now I'm at home, and the only reason I'm home is because nowhere else is open now. Like that's how it was. I literally tried to get out of the house as much as possible. I didn't want the responsibilities of the house. I didn't want anything to do with, you know, the person that I was living with. I didn't want to be in that relationship. I didn't know how to get out of it. I had no idea how to get out of it. And if that's my prime time in my life, then what the fuck? Now, I know what they say when they talk about prime time, like, don't really be in a relationship, just kind of explore your options, live a little, like, date multiple people. I know that that's what they refer to. But for me, when they were referring to my prime time, now my prime time didn't come about until 2020 when I bought my first house. And let's talk about that. 2020, I bought my first house and I was literally talking to my husband, well, my boyfriend. Well, actually, we were just talking. We were just friends. It was that time that I felt like I was in my prime. I was talking to a good dude, which was new for me. No red flags have presented itself. And I bought my first house, so now I was reaching my goals. Like, I legitimately had never been so proud of myself at the fact that I bought the house. Like, I could fuck this house up if I want to, because it is my house. It was such a good feeling. It was, you know, prime in my life. And then all of 2020, now given that COVID had hit and that it was a thing, it was super detrimental on my mental health. That's why I kind of started the podcast to begin with. It was my prime time. I wasn't going out every weekend, but hey, if I wanted to, I was a responsible adult and I freaking would. Like, all my bills were getting paid. I was so proud of myself, like so proud that I had made it that far in life. I love my husband, and I loved him then, and I loved the fact that we literally did anything and everything together. And that's why I don't think that my prime time was in my early 20s. Now I'm in my mid 20s, and now is my prime time. Like, I can say that 110%. Now is my prime time, because I am literally achieving everything I had no idea I could. I am just so ecstatic about my life and where I'm at, and like, don't get me wrong, it has its challenges. Like, I definitely sometimes just cry out of nowhere and I don't know why, and sometimes I'm just like, I am the happiest person in the world, and I think that's just life. It just comes with those ups and downs, and I hate when people refer to like prime time. Like, when was my prime time? When I was literally on drugs, or when I was literally wasted out of my mind, or when I was stuck in a relationship that had absolutely no benefits to me, was zero potential to it, but I was still stuck in it. Was that my prime time? Like don't get me wrong, I'm happy that people are like, you should think about this first, but this is my prime time for so many different reasons. I am married now, okay? And marriage has its challenges, absolutely. But back in the day when my husband and I were talking, it was like effortless. It just came so naturally. Everything that we did together, we were always in sync. Like, we're always in sync now. Like, there are times that he says something out loud that I'm literally thinking in my head. Like, you have to be on a different kind of in sync level for that to happen. Like, what are the odds that two people are thinking the same thing at the same exact time? Then we had gone through loss together, which is something neither one of us were really prepared for, but we didn't have a choice. We went through it anyways. I think that during that loss, we both balanced each other out very, very well. And I say that because he was very in it. Like, for him to show that he was hurting, he had to be like physically present. He had to, nurture me, literally make me 30,000 cups of chai a day. Like, literally, that's what I was doing. We watched Tom and Jerry so many times, I cannot even count on my hand. We watched it so many times. He never said anything unless it was like Sunday, or, if it was during football season. It was during football season, so like Sundays, obviously. But I would sleep through it. It didn't matter. But either way, he was just so present, and I was so not present. And because of that, I think we both balance each other out, because I think if we're both like doing things for each other and all up in each other's business, we might be like, please get out. I don't know, but the point is that we grew closer together than we did apart, and a lot of people end up growing apart when there's some kind of loss. And that was when I knew that, yeah, this is the man I'm marrying. Like, this is him. Well, obviously I knew way before then, but like, that just confirmed that this is the person that I want to go through everything with. All of the happiness that we're going to achieve in our lives, all of the loss that we might encounter, all of the mediocre days, all of the bad days, everything like that. That was how I knew. And that was just the beginning of my prime time. Having my husband has been the biggest blessing that I think I can ever have. Like, I don't think anybody can ever like comprehend how patient and how kind and how generous that this man is. And like, I give him grief sometimes, don't get me wrong. Ever since I met him, it's just been like going uphill, and sometimes it goes down and then it goes back uphill. I think being in your prime time it just means that you've reached that part in your life where all of your goals are finally becoming reality. So buying my first house, that was a huge goal for me, and the fact that I did it at 22 was huge, and I'm so freaking proud of myself. And I think that's why I say that's when my prime time was beginning, because prior to like ever, having some kind of goals or, some kind of ambition towards something, I joined the military fresh out of high school, and then I moved to Arizona all by myself, and it was like, I don't know, I guess something clicked in me at that point, and I was like, I really want to start a family. I I really want a husband. I really want like all of those things. And the military pressures you a lot for that, because everyone is literally getting married. There are very few people that I know who got married who didn't get married. Like, there were so many people. So for the longest time, I was, I guess, chasing love, you could say, and that caused me a lot of problems, like a lot of problems to begin with. But I was definitely still hung up on a lot of people from Chicago, like, you know, my first love, and like it took me years, like years. I think not until I met my husband, to be honest with you, to like stop chasing him and just be like, you know what, this is a chapter that I really just need to close in my life. And when I met my husband, I was like, this man is everything I could dream of. And like, okay, yeah, there's a few issues, but that's nothing that we can't work through. And I think that was like, even when I was in a relationship with my ex for 3 years, I was still chasing this man. And how is that my prime time again? How? All I ever wanted in my life was to be surrounded by love. I just wanted to be surrounded by my own family. And when I moved away from home, that was like a really difficult concept at first. But then I was like, okay, well, my siblings, they're gonna grow, and then what am I gonna do? Because they were kind of like my children to me. Like, I was always taking care of them. I was always there for them. There were times that I gave them shit, but like, that's what an older sister does. And then I moved out of home, and I was like, there's nothing I can really do. It's not like I'm moving back anytime soon. So I just kind of had to mentally adjust to like all those changes in my life that was happening. And then look at me now. Like, I am so surrounded by love. My daughter will literally cry for her mom. Literally cry. Because all she wants to do is just fall asleep on me and my warmth, and you know, and I love that. Like, life has never been so full before. Like, I don't think I've actually ever been upset in the last year, for the most part. Okay, maybe one time that I can recall, but I don't think I've been upset. And like, I just feel like I'm finally discovering myself. Like, there's a lot of changes, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know why they say your prime time is your early 20s. I think your prime time is when you're finally reaching the goals that you always dreamed you couldn't achieve. Like, just everything that you ever dreamed of. Like, when I was a kid, I used to dream of like my own family, like me as a kid. And now all of it's real. And so yeah, I'm in my prime time now. I leave you with a quote. Be on alert to recognize your prime at whatever time in your life it may occur. And that was said by Muriel Spark. I definitely think that sums up today's episode, that your prime time does not have to be in your early 20s. Your prime time is whenever it occurs in your life, because everybody's prime time is different. Everybody has different goals. Everybody achieves them at different times in their lives. And there's no need to pressure yourself to get to that goal sooner than you need to. Everything happens in life on the timeline that it's meant to. Without further ado, I am not a licensed therapist. I am not even going to school for psychology. All of these opinions are my opinions and my opinions alone. All the research I have done is through the search engine that we know and love, Google. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel and all the bad decisions I make in my life. I am most active on TikTok. Every single day I'm on there. And I am second most active on Instagram. So definitely follow me on those platforms. I love you all so much. Thank you all for listening to this episode, and I will see you next week. Be safe, be happy, and be loved. XOXO Jas.